Okay guys, so first let's just talk about what exactly macro really is. And to me, macro is mostly just any type of decision that you're making in the game, rather than micro, which would be the actual buttons you're clicking and the mechanical plays that you're making. So in general, just anything like deciding on when to rotate for objectives, when to roam, all of these types of things would probably fall under the macro category, and we're just going to talk about some of those things in today's video. Okay guys, so the first important macro tip to understand is that everyone has a role shortly before the dragon spawns. The role of the support is often to get vision. Anyone is allowed to get vision, of course, but ideally the support is often going to be the one going for vision right before the objective is spawning. So you can see here, dragon spawning in about 10 seconds, and what I'm looking to do, since I don't have any wards, I'm putting myself in this bush to get vision to see where they are. I use the, whatever that thing is called, that gives you vision. I hook the Aatrox. I'm just kind of, looking for them. So my team is able to get to the objective first, and we're able to get a good position on the fight. And for some reason, this Aatrox decides to stop playing the game. But yeah, just important to understand, especially as support, but any role to be going to the objective 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds before it spawns, making sure you're getting vision around it so you guys can have an easier time securing the objectives. Alright guys, so now I'm going to talk about the roles of other laners before the objective. So you can see here I back because I have an item that I want to buy, which is perfectly fine. Sometimes this may cause you to be slightly late to the objective like it does here, but it's very important to note that typically even earlier than I'm doing now, you want to be pushing your lane before going to the objective, and the reason for this is because then it will cause them to lose gold under the tower, and it allows you to potentially pressure their towers if you don't think that the dragon is going to be a viable option to fight. So either way, you can see here that their wave in the middle side of the map is fighting, or my wave is fighting one of theirs, meaning that they're going to lose more gold once it ends up going under tower. This is just going to give us a bit extra gold after this fight, and it allows us to just have easy access to the fight anyways, and just have more options apart from just team fighting if we don't decide we want to team fight. Now here we end up team fighting because it goes well, but just another option to have in general, making sure that your lanes are pushed out. It also additionally protects your towers. Say the enemy has a split pushing champion. Well, they can't split push if the wave is closer to their side of the map, so it just allows you to do things like that. Okay guys, so now I'm going to talk about kind of as a jungler deciding what lanes you want to play for. So here I am the top laner, and I am doing very, very well in my lane, and I have a big lead. Meanwhile, my bot lane is still doing well, but my jungler is a carry jungler, meaning he's going to want a lot of gold on himself, and because I'm also winning my lane very hard, he's going to end up going for Herald and playing around my lane rather than trying to fight them at Dragon. And what you're going to see here is he's going to take the enemy jungler as they're distracted with with Dragon. He's going to use the Herald to get a turret, and then we're going to use the Herald to get another turret. After this, we're even going to go and take their Raptors. So we're going to get 2 of their camps. We're going to try to get their red buff, but it's not spawned. So we get 2 of their camps, 2 of their turrets. We farm a ton of gold from getting just the minions and everything. And we just get our gold super, super far ahead to make the game a lot easier to win. Rather than trying to fight them at Dragon, which is completely unnecessary. Again, you're going to see here we go even further where we try to play around killing the Alistar again. We just keep playing towards this side of the map. Choosing one side of the map as a jungler is often really good when you have a really strong laner just doing very well. You're going to see here we're even going to get his red buff now. We got an extra kill onto the Alistar. So just understanding that sometimes it's okay to give up objectives. Obviously, we ended up getting the Herald, but sometimes even when the Herald's not up and when it's just a second dragon and there's nothing really to play for on the other side of the map, just playing for turrets or playing for kills, if you don't think that you're going to be able to win the dragon fight, is often a really good strategy, and is what we did here, and it ended up helping us snowball the game very easily. Alright guys, so this next is going to be more of a laning phase macro type of tip. I'm thinking of making like a full wave management guide at some point, but for now I'm just going to kind of briefly describe this. So basically, kind of understanding the different ways to manage your wave based on the game. So often you're going to want to keep your lane close to yourself, and you're going to want to try to freeze it closer to your side of the map whenever you don't know where their jungler is and your jungler is on the opposite side of the map. Oftentimes you're going to want to push the lane if you want to go move to other parts of the map to help your other laners or help your jungler or something like that. Rotate for a scuttle, rotate for a dragon, something like that. And then you're going to want to build up a big wave when you want to dive someone. So you're going to want to only last hit stuff, but you're going to want to keep your minions slightly higher health than their minions, get a wave or 2 stacked up, and then use that wave to dive them under turret. So those are just kind of 3 main wave management tips that are very important to understand in general. Okay guys, so the gameplay doesn't really matter for this one. I'm more just going to talk about the tip. I'm sure you guys have all had at some point in your games where you see your teammates making really dumb plays, and you ask yourself the question of, should I go in that team fight and help my teammates and probably die with them? Or what else should I do to stop them from making these dumb plays? And so unfortunately, playing solo queue or duo queue or any ranked system really, you're going to have your teammates make some dumb plays and you have to figure out the best way to combat this. And this is very dependent on a lot of different factors. So the main thing I take into account is what are we actually going to lose or gain from this team fight? So if there's ever anything very major like an objective or like an inhibitor or even sometimes the game that might be lost if we lose this fight, then of course I'm going to participate, because this means that we would literally lose the game or a really, really big objective if I'm not there. Now, on other cases, all that we really lose is like, well, however many deaths we have, that much gold. So if one person dies, that's 350 or 300 gold. Two people die, 600. And there's no objectives up or anything for them to get, or they're not really near turrets. So if that's the case, well then I have to now weigh, does my champion want gold, or should I just try to protect my teammates anyways? So if I'm a support, I'm probably still going to join in on that fight, because I'm a support. I usually don't need a ton of gold. I'm more there to help my teammates. However, say that I am a Vayne, say that I am a Camille, an Evelynn, a lot of really strong champions that do well with a lot of gold, and I see my teammates going in on a really dumb fight that I think, one, is not going to be won, and two, there's no objectives that are being fought over, or there's no like inhibitor turrets or big turrets or objectives that are going to be taken from that. Well, in that case, what I would do is try to go on other parts of the map and find gold there while everyone's distracted in the fight. So maybe I would farm my jungler's camps, maybe I would farm the enemy jungler's camps, maybe I would push a wave or two and get the gold off that, maybe I would go for a turret. In general, the main thing to take into account when your teammates make these dumb fights is what's actually being lost versus gained, and what's the risk versus reward. So again, if you think that the potential reward the enemy will receive is too great for you to give up, then you're going to have to participate in that fight even if you don't want to. However, if you think that you're not going to lose much more than a life or two, or maybe even 3 lives, but you think that you can get yourself as a very strong carry champion stronger, then that would be the time where you would make the decision to leave your teammates and let them just die on their own in that stupid fight, and instead just go and try to get yourself further ahead because of their, unfortunately, not very smart plays. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you did enjoy. I should have some more coaching videos coming out in the future. Unfortunately, I did have a coaching session earlier today, and there were some issues with the recording being too big, so I'm going to have to try to figure out exactly how to get like those bigger files properly uploaded. So hopefully I am able to figure that out, but until we do figure that out, we'll just have some of these regular, you know, gameplay with tips and stuff coming out in the future. So just let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you have any more ideas for videos in the future, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.